As Nigerians gear towards the transition to a new democratic dispensation, citizens are calling for an improvement in the security of lives and property. This is coming from family members and victims of last year's March 28 train attack as they reflect on the harrowing experience and the emotional toll it took on them and their families. Recall that security authorities confirmed that at least 9 people were left dead, 28 others injured, while over 63 persons were kidnapped. Notable among those who died, there was a 28-year-old medical doctor, Chinelo Megafo, who tweeted to raise alarm shortly after she was hit by a bullet. The Kaduna-bound train was attacked in Katari, in Kaduna State, at Abuja at about 9 p.m. Heavily armed terrorists detonated an explosive planted on the rail track, which successfully halted its movement. The gunmen who had surrounded the train immediately opened fire, shooting sporadically. President Muhammadu Buhari reacted to the incident, describing it as callous and a matter of grave concern. I have a relative of some of the victims, Dr. Abdulmaliq Attah, joined me now on Zoom to speak to us on the anniversary of this attack. Dr. Attah, it's good to have you join us right now.
My pleasure.
Great. Now it is 1 year after this train attack on the way from Abuja to Kaduna, and Nigerians, I recall, every part of this country felt that impact and were involved in the emotions that followed. And so talk to us about your experience that time and even now that is 1 year after that time.
Thanks for having me. It's been 1 year of an experience that I'm short of words to describe. But then we still thank God because I have my mom and my sister alive, and fortunately we're able to secure the release of other victims. It was a traumatic experience that I wouldn't even wish my worst enemy goes through at all. But thank God, we've seen, and by the grace of God, we were able to go through the whole experience. And alhamdulillah, my mom and sister are perfectly doing well, and I haven't gone through depression with other family members. And with the help of relatives, friends, well-wishers, and the support from the federal government, it's been, what I say, to an extent, positive since the release of my mom. If you recall that after the release of my mom and sister, we were able to secure the release of the other 23 abductees through the efforts of the CDS and other security agents. We're able to free them, and you might be surprised that for the past 6 months, through the efforts of the federal government, through the office of the CDS and the DSS and other related agencies, Kaduna-Abuja Benongwari axis has been relative, we've had relative peace. There's not been kidnapping on that axis. The trains are back, you know, and the government, using the non-kinetic measures, have engaged the kidnappers, and we've had relative peace there. Alhamdulillah, it's an experience that has brought peace to that whole region for now. And I think going forward with the same commitment I have seen, if we could put in more, I think all over the country we will have that peace that has eluded Nigeria for some time now.
All right. Now, it's good to feel what you're saying as to you have tried to move on from that experience with the help of relatives and family. Now, speak to us from the perspective of government engaging with the victims and even families. What kind of engagement did government or its agencies have with you?
There's a committee set up by the federal government under the office of the CDS that involves other sister agencies. And so far, so good. With me being part of the facilitators, we've engaged these kidnappers. And you see, it's not all about money. Nothing has been spent in engaging them. We were able to talk to them, bring them to table, sit down, and had a mutual agreement on way forward. And way forward. We understood their own anger towards what they've done. I'm not trying to justify their reaction because lives have been lost. There will have been better ways in doing this. But then, on their level, this is how they could express themselves, and they've done. And from there, we've understood ourselves.
All right.
And we've had relative peace along Kaduna.
Okay.
Abuja-Kaduna, Birnin-Gwari, and that could extend to other areas in the country if that same commitment is being put in place by the government.
All right, we have to leave it here now. Dr. Abdulmaliq Attah, thank you so much for speaking to us, and we wish you well. Thank you.